Brigmores were an ancient family, bankrupted a generation ago. Since then, the manor has housed 2 street gangs, a smuggling ring, innumerable rats, and the Brigmore Witches. I'd always left them alone, but now a painter named Delilah had taken up witchcraft and formed a coven. She was trying something. A ritual. But what kind? The outsider knows. I cannot abide a mystery.
What could I use? None of these, actually. I don't know. Maybe I'll fight some river crusts. Who knows? Your operatives will drop your rune. Always nice. The former butler smuggled goods from the estate and hid them by the shore. Nice. Your agents have paid one of the witches to meet with you and provide information. So be wearing a red jacket. Huh.
I scouted, sir. They've locked the front, and I've seen evidence of snares. Also, maybe it's nothing, but I spotted several statues of the woman Delilah. I don't know what it means, but I thought it was worth mentioning.
It means trouble. Anything else?
They're getting in and out of the house somehow, but I haven't spotted it. Sorry, sir. Best I can do.
Good enough. I'll take it from here.
Yeah, no. Oh, I see you. Thank you. What the oh shit. They're onto me. The urn will have to stay here, Reggie, until we can return by boat and claim it. The master's key, however, will go with me, and, since you're nowhere to be seen, I have little choice but to scale the rocks by the waterfall and make my escape cross-country. Leave me out to dry on this one, and I'll put a bullet hole in your skull. Why? Well. Oh. S. Daud has left Draper's ward on Lizzie Stride's boat and could arrive within hours. Disable the grave switch. Isabel will lock the manor and wait for further instructions in the backyard. D. Whoa, what was that? Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I hope everything is in order, sir. Strange doings, sir. I killed a hound in the yard, and it got straight back up and went for me. I had to crush its skull, to be sure.
Same. It's fine to leave them in the water? Oh, I see you. Ah, fuck. Ow. Is that another one? Oh. Come on, open wide, you coward. Nice. Uh-oh. What this? So this coven is called the Brigmore Witches because they hang out in Brigmore Manor. And that's funny to me. That's the only reason for their name. They have no relation. They have no relation with, like, the owners or anything of this house. Just, yeah, they just took it over. Just like apparently a bunch of other people have taken this over in the past. Did they call themselves the Brigmore Smugglers, the Brigmore Pirates? Somebody there? Wait, is that the statue? No. There's a statue. Oh, there's a wolf. Good thing I didn't blink then. 2 wolves. Gonna move, lady? Excerpt from an almanac on folk tales and superstitions of Bristol. So far in this almanac we have catalogued many trite and ignorant, if somewhat harmless tales, but we must now turn to that special class of folk customs that can only be called wicked and pernicious. The worst of these is perhaps the rhyme of the Rosewater Hag. Variants of this accursed poem seem to predate even the founding of Dunwell, though its ultimate origins are lost to us. As to its meaning, some consider it a tale of revenge by a mother against her own daughter. Others see it as a supplication meant to solicit the attention of some ancient spirit from the void. In any case, the ritual surrounding the poem is profusely morbid, and in many regions is used as a primitive means of settling the matter between two parties, where one has accused the other of falsehood. It is performed as follows. First, whoever is to be tested must find a fountain of standing water, and cover the surface with fallen rose petals. Once there are sufficient petals as to completely obscure the water, you must close your eyes firmly and place both hands within the fountain so that they are submerged beneath the blanket of rose petals. Then you are to recite the following verses. The Rosewater Hag. Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she drowned beneath the mark? Has she vanished in the dark? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, where's your daughter? Has she trysted by the well? Has she secrets left to tell? Petals, petals on the water, tell me, am I your daughter? After this, you must lean into the fountain, lowering your head fully into the water, and under the rose petals, face first with both eyes still squeezed tight. Count to 3 and then open your eyes. At that moment, it is said the Rosewater Hag will arrive. Why would you do this? If you are without fault, you will see nothing, except that you will feel her gentle caress on the back of your neck. But if there is falsehood or wickedness in your heart, you will see the horrible face of the Rosewater Hag, a creature of indescribable horror. The hag will drown you in the fountain with a cord made of thorny vines. Obviously, while the Abbey takes things very seriously, most authorities classify this tale as superstitious nonsense. However, it must be noted that every year there are at least half a dozen reports from the countryside of young women found dead and blue-faced, with their necks nicked and scratched as if by a collar of thorns. Oh. There's a bone jar below me. I'll put you here. Oh, jeez. Oh, there are 3 of them. Oh, Jesus. With Daud on his way, Delilah had me disable the grave switch and put it in the garden shed. Yes. That's good to know. How do I know where the garden shed is? A page torn from an old manuscript written in a scrawling hand. Dreary waters hissing daughters. Crack 3 green shells and steal their pearls. Turn the spigot and drink from the misery of a broken house. Gulp and swallow, follow and follow. 3 wet marbles down the gullet. Do this for me, dearie, and I'll give you a birthday gift. Gran. What the hell? Excerpt from a book on landscaping. Effective garden design must entice the casual observer by drawing them through the garden gates with a promise of the idyllic. I keep forgetting what the correct pronunciation is. Yet once inside it must continue to captivate the senses, compelling visitors to linger among lush greenery and well-positioned decor. The tranquility of a solitary pool. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. The perfume of jasmine flowers, the drape of an ancient woody clematis across the estates of Dunwall, all these must serve to soothe and beguile those who adventure into the well-tended garden of our gentry. Whether one chooses manicured symmetry or the illusion of wild growth, certain fundamentals must always apply. Variations of shape and size to excite the vision, cohesive themes to calm the spirit, and complementary scents and colors. As noted in the high-walled gardens of Lord and Lady Mortigan Pluff, place marble sculpture throughout as a means of transporting the visitor to a world of imagination. In keeping with the influential vision set forth by the beloved Borgund sisters, daughters of the late Jonathan and Olivia Suter, coo to those visiting your manor garden with coordinated sounds. The soft splash of the fountain, the trickling of a stone-walled stream, and the rustle of Circonan sheaf oaks from high above. Remember, a magical meeting place can be as simple as periwinkle-draped bower over a crunching gravel pathway, or a pedestal bench nestled on the boughs of a crown willow. Bower, boughs. Ah, man. There was a short story I'm sorry, swallowed the pills of water. No, there was a short story that I did for Final Fantasy 14, and I was informed by my alpha reader that I pronounced bows wrong, and then she gave me like the way to pronounce it, and I pronounced Bower or Bower the same way. Like I pronounced it Bowers, but Bower. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Excerpt from a children's book. In the verdant garden, leaning quietly, Rosalind and her basket attended a gathering of crown roses. Rosalind bent, caressing one of the roses, and she brought the shears from behind her back. Where they were hidden, as if they might spook the flowers, it was but a small thing to take a life for her mother. As she brought the shears around, she pulled at the stem, readying it for the blades, but the flower did not comply, and rewarded her trust with a thorn buried in her thumb. A single drop of crimson welled up from the wound. Before Rosalind could bring her thumb to her lips, a hand closed around her wrist. Her mother was standing nearby, witness to all that had transpired. The rose demands its prize, my love. Do not deny the flower its toll. What does that mean? Rosalind winced as her mother forced her hand out over the flower bed and gently squeezed her thumb. 3 drops spattered onto the dry soil. As her mother walked away, Rosalind blinked away tears and gripped tight her shears. She left the garden with her basket brimming. 3 crimson drops and 1 crimson flower. All that remained of the once proud garden. What the fuck? That's a children's book? Oh. Okay. That's the one, thou shalt not adulterate. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Sheathed. Maybe not. I was gonna leave her on top of the rooftop, but it didn't look steady. I was first gonna say fuck that, but then I remembered. Oh, I love pool. Is that an item? Oh, nice. Gonna take that as a new. Shouldn't he have a key on him or something? Ah, there it is. I heard you. Oh. What the fuck was that sound? Wait, I hear river crests. Uh-huh. There's one. Nope. Oh, cool. I was worried I had to carry it. Right. Ow. Oh, what am I doing? I could have pulled that.
I never see this place without thinking of what we found here. So tragic. So monkish warlike. Might look less but we're in his trap. He drowned thinking of his love. He was a thief. He drowned thinking of what Lord Brigmore would do if he was caught. I like to imagine he was more devoted than that. He's still, rotting in the water. Why don't you go and give him a kiss?
Jesus.
There's not much left of his face, but you can always imagine there's more. Why do you ruin everything?
Tank? Okay, I'm gonna guess tank is you take reduced damage, but you're very slow. Yep. That sounds about right.
Will we leave this place soon or stay for another season?
Didn't I have a meeting with a turncoat or something? Where? What's that graveyard thing? Oh, it's right. I remember now. Yep. I'm actually curious about yeah, excuse me. I'm actually curious about that turncoat though. Uh-oh. Ah, there.
Please. You ought to have your mind on more important things.
Don't think I'm on your side, because I'm not. If you raise a hand to any of my sisters but Delilah, you'll answer to me.
Understood. What have you got?
When her ritual's done, Emily Caldwin's mind will be gone, and Delilah will look out through her eyes the rest of her life.
And Delilah will rule as Empress.
That's up to you. I've got my money. That's all I need.
What about a way in?
Use the crypt. There's a lever that opens one of the tubes.
Got it.
The lever is kept in the shed. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, thank you, lady. What the hell is that noise? Nope. Wait, oh, there is someone. Huh?
This place is always so wet. My mother and father kept it dry.
Nope. Don't appear to be detected, oh, but I will be. Oof. Well, that's fucking creepy. Yeah, that's right. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fucking creepy. Ooh.
Ashes tonight.
It says explore. Wait. What do I need to do here? Explore the crypt.
Look, the lever. Down. Go down.
Let him come up to us.
Well. Oh. Oh, mama. Yeah.
The flooded district was run down.
Oh my god. I hate it here. I would be shocked if Delilah had an outsider shrine in here. Place is haunted. Increased mana cost for Oh, money. I'll hold off on that for now. Jesus, this place is rigged to blow. Uh-oh. Oh. I was unable to extract much from this one. He was well trained. Feeding him his former companion elicited mostly useless sounds and mess. Ew. I'll try again tomorrow unless he becomes violently deranged, in which case I'll have little choice but to put him down. Brother Pradcliffe, you are charged with surveillance of the Mutcher Haven district and surrounding estates. Travel there immediately and report all findings to the Office of the High Overseer. If any signs of organized heresy are uncovered, send for additional support. Do not attempt to handle this situation alone. Remember the strictures and you will not fail. Overseer Cranston. Excerpt from an Overseer's report on black market occult artifacts. Vice Overseer Melios. While traveling in Sarkonis, which is of course within your purview, I came across a matter that demands your attention. My brothers and I were using the overland route from Solero to Karnaca, escorting two of our sisters from the Oracular Order as you requested months ago. My apologies for the delay. High Overseer Campbell is a busy man, as I'm sure you understand, and sometimes such deployments fall to the wayside as his mind is devoted to some immediate concern of higher import in our struggle against the outsider. Halfway to Karnaca, our caravan stopped in a lakeside town where we learned that a man had been recently murdered. Initially, this was no cause for our involvement until we heard about some of the things found in his keeping. Red wax candles that we suspect were mixed with ox blood, clippings of hair, and a painting that hung over his kitchen table depicting a small child carrying two dried leaves. I need not tell a man of your wisdom that these things were of concern, but other clues confiscated at this site were far more serious. The victim's finely appointed rooms were located on the top floor, looking down over the lake. He was a merchant of some means, and from what we found, it's clear that he was trafficking in heresy, attempting to buy an occult charm constructed of whalebone. What makes this case different is that the man was not attempting to purchase some superstitious sailor's carving from bygone days. Here we have a situation in which a private citizen and a functioning member of society actually commissioned the creation of a new artifact aimed at a specific purpose. must be different from the one that I found. Like that, like I curse ye. Those offering this service, from what we can tell, were attempting to craft a new charm from shards of older whalebone talismans. Vice Overseer, we believe that this new artifact was damaged in some way, creating the rift between buyer and seller, which resulted in murder. Yeah, didn't I find that? From what we've gathered, the item possessed some occult power. It also seemed to come at a cost, however, afflicting the bearer in several unwanted ways as well. Whether the individual or cult responsible for the creation of the corrupted bone charm made it that way deliberately, or whether their capabilities proved somehow inferior, isn't something we know at this time. However, this occurrence matches other such stories from across the Isles. As a coddle generation have grown more accepting of heresy, even taking delight in the tales of witchcraft, found in lurid adventure stories, this is the result. Now even those who have no real connection to the void are attempting to devise their own disgusting rituals and talismans. Such corrupted bone charms and fractured runes could be even more dangerous than the original artifacts, as impossible as that might seem. As I must now journey to Dunwall to take up my next assignment, I leave any further investigation in your capable hands. However, I have left copies of this letter with several outposts along the way to Karnaca, and I have asked that any loyal to the Abbey who come across these words, if they have the time and means, copy them for our brethren, and for those over whom they watch, the merchant is dead. But those who crafted this corrupted charm still walk the land, roving feet. Our worries are not overzealous imaginings, as some would claim, but represent a very real danger, as you will agree. These matters should be of grave concern to any who wish to keep our lands free from the curses of the void. Overseer Angus Duncan, that's a very Scottish name. Freyport Outpost, Morley.
Painting the air. It's flawless. She's begun the final phase.
I've ordered the lantern be placed in my studio in the west wing. Use it to enter the painting, and only if your situation is dire. I will be busy preparing for the ritual and cannot be disturbed. I trust you can handle Daud to dematerialize. Delilah.
Void already.
Yes. It won't be long. All of our patience and work will be rewarded. What happened to Melina? Is she...
The painting of the possession target must be positioned above the altar. After preparing the ritual, the performer must lay on the altar. If the ritual has been prepared correctly, the performer will then enter into the body of the subject of the painting. Warning, the subject of the painting must be the possession target. Any other painting may trap the performer of the ritual. Interesting.
She made them pay first.
Oh, that's all runes found. The Blight of the Cobblestone. Excerpt from Street Pamphlet, drafted by anonymous intellectuals. Action is necessary if the Empire is to stand against the juggernaut of what is commonly called industrial progress. The momentum of this hungry beast requires equal vigor simply to halt its destructive advance. No action against the industrialization of our nation-states can be deemed too extreme when we understand what is at stake. The advancement of the industry infects every aspect of our lives, and hazardous conditions assault the citizens of Dunwall daily. Workers are treated as disposable cogs in the machine, sacrificing their lives in the name of faster construction, mass assembly, and greater profits. Should those of us in opposition to these trends not sacrifice themselves in the fight against our unfeeling oppressor? Will we be satisfied when our children ask what a pasture is, and the best we can do is to point to a cobblestone street, black with the filth of mechanical production? Will we struggle in the coming years to recall a time when we actually made our pies by hand, or baked bread in the ways of our grandmothers? What is at stake today are our very cultures, from the cold north of Tivia down through Morley and Bristol, all the way to the warm south of Serconis. All men and women with a love for our ways must stand against these changes. Okay, so I found everything.
Brewing the elixir again this week. Oh yes, my dear. Oh yes.
Right, now that I got everything, back to that. Oh, that's strange. That's weird. Now that the painting is finished, I will sit in young Lady Emily's skin and wear her face like a mummer's mask. Havelock and his lickspittles will put the child on the throne, but it is me they will be crowning, Delilah, the kitchen girl from Dunwall Tower. They called me Sokolov's apprentice, but whose paintings reach through to the spirit? Mine. They will never know their blunder, but I will be sure to whisper it into their ears at their executions. My followers will bear the lantern to the gallery in order to open the way to the void. There I will use the painting to complete the ritual. My walk into Emily's flesh must be undisturbed. The ritual has other uses, which I will explore over time. Any image made by my hand could serve as the focal point for the spell. I imagine one of my enemies as a still life, imprisoned in a bowl of fruit without amusement.
So Delilah wants to use Emily to become Empress.
Excerpt from a work of fiction by P.J. Stokeworth. As Gregory and Elia crouched in the dark of the upper hall, they could hear the thing drawing close. It had followed them from the forest, through the garden, and into the house. Now, as they leaned against the wall, exhausted and terrified, they could hear it coming up the stair. Moving slowly, it scraped along, exposed bone dragging across wood and carpet. A ragged panting foretold its passage as dead air was pushed through a throat eaten away with rot. Reaching a grim conclusion, Aliyah swallowed. Her face went slack, and she gave Gregory a final glance before plunging through the window glass into the moonlight and night air. At the sound of her delicate body smashing against the cobblestone below, Gregory let out a keening moan, and as he did, his voice was matched by an unearthly howl from the stairwell, and a rapid scratching of clawed feet rushing up toward him. Holy shit. I am the fruit feast. They seem to like traps. I don't know. I didn't think that they were trap people.
season.
I wish I knew.
Good. There we go.
It pains me that I cannot be at Delilah's side during the final moments of the ritual. She's alone. What if something goes wrong? Who will help her? Doesn't it worry you?
You underestimate our great lady's resourcefulness. She is not alone. Not entirely.
The statues. Of course.
They're more than statues. She's put her will in them. And in the void, their power is much greater. Do not fret, sweet Tilda. Lady Delilah needs you to be strong and steadfast. This is no time to wilt like a summer daisy.
I won't. Forgive me, sister. You're right.
Someone should be here. I'll walk with
Will you join us for a swim later?
There's little chance of that.
You have many talents, Daud, and they've served you. Delilah's talents are quite different. She creates images, but she does more. She captures spirit. She insinuates her will into her subject, whatever it is. We're witnessing her masterpiece, and perhaps yours as well. I gave you Delilah's name, and you followed it to this moment. You see now what hangs in the balance. Emily's life, Delilah's ambition, an empire in the act of crumbling. In your long life, I've rarely seen you act with such consummate grace. I give my marks sparingly, and I don't play favorites, but I will watch this with unusual attention.
The void. Time to see what you've really got, Delilah.
Emily Caldwin, daughter of Jessamine Caldwin, heir to the Empire of the Isles. I call out to you from the void. I call you with ochre from Morley, carmine beetle shells, zirconin lazurite, viridian bile. The tones of your flesh I tempered with Pandician chalk. The same loom that spun the fabric of your dresses made this canvas. I made my brushes from the hairs of your own scalp. Emily, you cannot ignore me. My power is too deep, my reach too long.
Oh. Wait, is that a hound?
Brush touches paint. Brush touches canvas. Brush touches void. And now I see you, Emily Caldwell. I breathe your breath. I can feel what you do. The bright mornings in the pub. I feel the cold night air of the ruin where you sleep. And the stink of the river. Image strikes the eye. Eye touches the mind. Mind touches the world. Feel your love for Corvo Atana and your lost mother. For your caretaker, Callista. I feel your fear in the night. Your hunger to learn. To become someone important. My hunger too. My fear. You are becoming mine. We are nearly finished. Close your eyes, Emily. Sleep forever. Feel the void open beneath you. Make room for me. Give in to me, Emily. Give in to me now. Hate flows. Blood flows. Life goes. Out with the old, in with the new. You've lived in these bones long enough, sweet young girl.
That's fucked up.
Finished. It is complete. I am... What's happening? This is all wrong! What am I becoming? Outsider's blood? Is this some trick? Go!
Bye! Get fucked. Yay. Oh, nice. Barely any gold. Trap Delilah. Awesome.
No one will ever know exactly what it took to save Emily Caldwell from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation. I've learned that our choices always matter. To someone. Somewhere. And sooner or later, in ways we can't always fathom, the consequences come back to us. I came from Serkonos to Dunwall as a boy. Made my living as a killer. One of the few who've heard the outsider's voice. I murdered an empress, but saved her daughter, who will one day rule the empire. Those were my choices. I'm ready for what comes.
No?
I have one more surprise for you. I asked for my life. When I killed your empress and took her daughter, something broke inside me. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing. So my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
You make an eloquent plea for a man with innocent blood on his hands. It's a shame Corvo doesn't know the real story, isn't it? How in these last days you passed through Coldridge Prison like a shadow, dared the tangles of Dunwall's underworld, and walked out unscathed, outwitted one of the greatest witches in a generation, all with consummate care and skill. How you saved Emily Caldwell, daughter of the Empress, first of her name, and no one will ever know. But how does it end for Daud, the hired killer, the murderer, the savior of the Empire? It's up to Corvo now.
And that was the Brigmore Witches. Oh, man. And this is why Daud is one of my favorite characters in the Dishonored world. Oh, man. Yeah, Daud is a very interesting character. He starts out as just a hired killer, and he is fine with it, and like has killed nobles, and like has killed his contractors. Killing was normal to him. But yeah, then he was tasked to kill the Empress, and when that happened, the city went to shit, and that's when he realized that his actions have consequences, and that broke him. And that's what that's like one of the things that I like about these DLCs is, you can, and this is one of the reasons why I don't do high chaos, because it's, in my opinion, I think it would be dramatic to say injustice to Daud's character development, but yeah, like going high chaos after all that, and especially like what you see in the base game of Daud, after all that, just letting it end on like high chaos where he still kills, just is a bit meh. And that's why I like the low chaos where Daud is like rethinking about everything, and the way like his interactions with Billy, where if you didn't kill people, then she would choke the guy out. If you did kill people, she would kill the guy, all that kind of stuff. And then Daud is and then Billy being all like, are you losing your touch? What is going on? You spared this person? Like all this stuff. And it just makes me think of like what is going through Daud's head, like all these changes that he's doing. And then you hear his fellow assassins talk, but like is he losing his edge? What's going on? And then yeah, and he spared the captured overseers. What's going on? And yeah, just very fascinating that he goes from, well, he still is a master assassin, but he uses his master assassin skills to instead not kill. Yeah. And then in the process fights against Delilah, who's a big shot witch, and then by happenstance there was a plot involving Emily, and you're welcome, Corvo. You're welcome, Emily. And Daud saving the Empire. Like, isn't that crazy? That so you go through the base game, and it's just Daud. Daud is the one that killed the Empress. That's all you know. And then you interact with the guy, and then like either in a low chaos playthrough you kill, you spare him. In a high chaos playthrough you kill him, and then like you think that's it. But then you do the DLCs, and then you're like, oh shit, he saved Emily. Like before the final showdown with Corvo, he saved Emily, and that's like that. Yeah, that's so interesting. Well, yeah, interesting, cool. Yeah, Daud is one of my favorites. I don't even know if there are any like comparisons to Daud. Like I mean, I haven't watched a lot of movies, and like I haven't seen a lot of other things, but Daud is just very fascinating to me in the sense of was a hired killer, then because of regret he like changes into a completely different person for the better. I wonder if him saving Emily like healed his guilt, regret, whatever, slightly. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna let the credits go a bit, but I know for a fact that there's a post-credit scene. And that was that. So, I guess next up is Dishonored 2. See you then.